let's quickly go to the fifth shloka now. I'll not go into it in as much detail as we did before, but still, let me try and paint as visual a picture as possible, so that the idea is for these to work at multiple layers. As you can see, there is the richness of sound, of course, and at the same time, the idea of connecting with that deity is the physical form being present. The description of the physical form is that one can focus one's emotions, and one can, it can aid in dhyana or concentration. So all this physical worship uh, is the objective of all this deities, and on the physical representations and the instruments and the weaponry and all the elaborate alankara and the rupa, soundarya and lavanya, all of this is because one has, it amplifies the ease. It makes the process much more easier for one to focus one's mind on, and to have that emotion come forth with all this beautiful imagery. So so in order for that layer also to work properly, we need to understand the glory of the goddess in her personified form. So I'll try and paint as clear a visual picture as possible. But the significance of each of these sounds in the sounds in the stotra go much deeper. Let's look at the fourth shloka. Pratah stuve parashivam lalitam bhavanim trayanta vedya vibhavam karunanavadyam vishvasya srishti vilaya sthiti hetu bhutam vidyeshwarim nigama vang manasati duram. So this is how the individual words of it are pronounced. The coming to the individual word by word meaning of the shloka. Pratah, by now you know pratah is the break of dawn, pratah kala. Stuve, this is the verb or the action being denoted in this shloka. Stuve is an atmanipada, or it's a kriya which means it comes from stuti, which means praise. I praise. Stuti, stotram. The action word of stuti and stotram is stuve. I praise. Whom do I praise? Parashivam. The Shiva, the word Shiva has multiple interpretations again. One of the interpretations is the auspicious one. Parashiva, who is the ultimate auspicious one. Lalita, who her name itself is Lalita, who is the playful one. Bhavani, who is the consort of Bhava, who is the embodiment of existence, Bhava. Um, Bhavani is the feminine representation of Bhava, which is Lord Shiva. So Bhavani is the feminine aspect of existence, Bhavan. So in early in the morning at the break of dawn, I praise Parashiva Lalitam Bhavani. Trayi Anta Vedya Vibhavam. Vibhava. So Bhava is existence. Vibhava is specialized existence or glory. So Vibhava is one's greatness, grandeur, glory, and all these things. Vedya Vibhava. Vedya means in order to know. So Veda or Vidvan, Vidya is knowledge. Vedya is in order to know. Uh, Vibhavam. So who is in order to know the glory, known through which Vedya can be understood as known through which uh, Trayi Anta. Anta is ending. Trayi literally means the Vedas. So Vedas are represented, are also known by the word Trayi. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says Traigunya Vishaya Veda. So because Vedas deal with these threefold aspects of creation, the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, they are also known by the name of Trayi. Some people say they are also known by the word Trayi because initially there were only three Vedas, but I think the word fits better because Trayi means that which deals with three things, which are the threefold manifestation of the name of universe, um, which is manifest as Sattva, Rajas, and Tamo gunas. So Trayi Anta, Veda Anta. So Vedanta or the Upanishad, the essence of the Vedas, Vedya Vibhavam. So one's glory, Vibhava, is known, Vedya, by the ending, Anta, of Vedas, Trayi, which is Vedanta. One's glory is eulogized by the by Vedantas or Upanishads. Trayanta Vedya Vibhavam. Karuna Anavadyam. Karuna is compassion. Anavadya is blemishless, who's unbesmirched. Uh, so un, so it's a double negation. Anavadya, and there are two negations. Vadya. So it can roughly be understood as whose compassion is uh, impartial. You cannot pick that her compassion is only limited to one particular uh, you know group and not the other. So she is the mother of all. She is equally compassionate, and you cannot pick any fault with her universal compassion. Karunana Vadyam. Vishwasya. Vishwasya is of the universe. Srishti, creation. Vilaya, dissolution. Sthiti, maintenance. Hetu is the cause or the reason. Bhutam, the one who has become. You see that becoming, being, the bhava, the bha sound came again. So one who is the cause, the one who has become the cause, hetu, of srishti, vilaya, and sthiti, creation, dissolution, and maintenance in between of Vishwa, the entire creation. Vidyeshwarim, Vidya and Ishwarim. So Vidya is knowledge or knowing. Um, Ishwari, she's the law. She's the You can't use the word Lord. She's the lady. She's the ruler of all knowledge. Nigama, Vag, Manasa, Atiduram. Manasaha, Atiduram. So she is Atidura. She is far beyond the scope of Nigama, Vak, and Manas. Nigama is that which is not Agama is Nigama. Agama is our man-made knowledge, that which has been derived from our minds and an outpouring of human thought and human imagination. Nigama is the knowledge of life itself, which is beyond just human thought. So that is Nigama. And Vak is the human faculty of speech, and even beyond that, it is the sound of sounds of creation itself is Vak. Manas is the mind or thoughts at one level. Ati Duram is who is much beyond the purview or the scope. So Nigama Vang Manasati Duram can be understood as she is the goddess who is beyond the purview, beyond the scope of sounds, speech, and thoughts. So she is not, we can describe her, we can talk about her, we can praise her and all that stuff. But I still try and stue, chant the praise of that goddess who is beyond the scope, beyond the limitations of scriptures, of speech, of sounds, and even of thought itself. So the summary of the entire stotram is: at the break of dawn, it's given here, at the break of dawn, I praise the glory of the ultimate goddess, auspicious goddess, the goddess Lalita, who is the playful one, who is the embodiment of the existence, whose glory is known and understood through the study of, or through whose it is expressed through the ending of the Vedas, which are the Upanishads or Vedanta, and whose compassion is blemishless, whose unbesmirched compassion, which is equal to all, and who is the cause of the creation, dissolution, and maintenance of the entire existence, Vishwa. Vidyeshwari, who is the ruler of all knowledge, and Atiduram, Nigamavang Manasati Duram, who is much beyond the ambit of scripture, speech, scripture, sound, and thought. Now I'll try and chant this in tune. प्रातस्तुवे परशिवां ललितां भवानीं त्रय्यन्तवेद्यविभवां करुणानवद्यां विश्वस्य सृष्टिविलयस्थितिहेतुभूतां विद्येश्वरीं निगमवाङ्मनसातिदूराम्. I'll chant this one more time. But there is a small, I wanted to demonstrate a small difference this time. Why I wanted to chant it for a second time is because this time the dots or the anuswaras on top, this dot on top, which is a nasal sound, there are a different set of sounds here. For example, if you see here, after this dot, there is ka sound. So if you want to chant it at once, people who have gone through Vakshuddhi know this. Uh, Trayanta Vedya Vibhavang Karunana Vadyam. So if you utter it together, this dot becomes the ka ng sound, because the consonant that comes after it is ka, and the nasal sound in the row that corresponds to ka is ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. So Vibhavang Karunana Vadyam. But if, because the dot here, it is after this, it is bha, which belongs in the pa row, pa, pa, ba, bha, and the nasal sound there is ma at the end, the fifth sound. So Lalitam Bhavanim. Here the dot becomes sound. So and at the end here, Vidyeshwarim. Here the dot after it's a na sound. So it is Vidyeshwarim Nigama. So it is na sound. Vidyeshwarim Nigama. But if you give a pause at any of these places, here at any of these places, if you give a pause, it can be uttered as sound, which is the default sound of the dot on top. But if you are, that default becomes specific if you are chanting it non-stop and not giving a pause in between. So let me now chant, and whenever it's continuous, it becomes a nasal sound which is consistent with the sound there. Parashivan Lalita Bhavan Lalitam. So it is a nasal sound there. Parashivan Lalita. So it is, but if you give a pause, Parashivam Lalitam Bhavanim. Here, Trayanta Vedya Vibhavam Karunana Vadyam. But if it's together, Parashivan Lalitam Bhavanim Trayanta Vedya Vibhavang Karunana Vadyam. So it goes like that. Vidyeshwarim Nigamavang Manasati Duram. I hope this distinction is clear. Let me now chant it one more time. This time I'll not give pauses in between, and include the consonant after the Anuswara sound with the Anuswara sound itself. Pratastuve Parashivan Lalitam Bhavanim Trayantavedya Vibhavang Karunanavadyam Vishvasya Srishti Vilaya Sthiti Hetu Bhutam Vidyeshwarim Nigamavang Manasati Duram.